Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wrestling Territories Podcast. This is part two of Forgotten Tag Teams. We're going to talk about three more tag teams in this video, so stay tuned. Now, this first tag team only together for just a brief while, not even quite a year. Jimmy Boogie Wiggy Man Valiant and Lasertron. So, Lasertron came in when Hector Guerrero decided to kind of give a character for kids to kind of look up to. And so, laser tag was a big thing at the time, so he decided to go with the name Lasertron. So he and Boogie Woogie Man were tag team partners for a while and feuded with a new breed. And although they wasn't together very long, that they were pretty successful. The Lasertron ended up becoming the junior heavyweight champion in all this. And several matches with these two guys as a tag team went on for a while until Lasertron or Hector Guerrero decided to leave the NWA. But they're kind of forgotten. They were a tag team for a brief while, but they were, kind of cool. The kids liked them. I remember, as a kid, I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool seeing Lasertron out there. But it's a forgotten tag team that people don't think about anymore. But not Hall of Fame worthy by no means. Okay, so the next tag team, a little more Hall of Fame worthy, I would have to say. Former WWF Tag Team Champions of Strike Forces, Rick Martel and Tito Santana. These two guys are pretty cool. They were actually thrown together because at the time, Martel was teaming with Tom Zink, and then Tom Zink decided to leave the WWF, and it just kind of left Rick Martel high and dry. So they put him with Tito Santana, which was a good idea. These two guys were a good tag team. As you can see there, tag team championships on their waist, right? They defeated the Hart Foundation to become the tag team champions, then lost them to Demolition and WrestleMania. But the thing was, at that time, it was ready to push Martel as a single competitor, so they lost the tag team titles to Demolition, and Rick Martel turned heel and left. But actually, as a tag team, they feuded with the Islanders, and I believe the name came about when Tito Santana said they were going to strike the Islanders with force. So they became Strike Force. That's how they came up with their name. But anyway, this tag team, more Hall of Fame worthy. By far, Strike Force was a good tag team, a team that I think a lot of people sometimes forget that had happened. They wasn't a tag team for an extremely long period of time, but they were a tag team and they were champions and they were a good tag team. All right, so our final tag team is a tag team I've kind of talked about a little bit in the past. It's the Lightning Express. It's Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner. They were UWF tag team champions, and it had teamed in the past, but even before the UWF. But they were brought together in the UWF to defeat Sting and Rick Steiner for the UWF tag team championships. They've also feuded with the Sheep Herders, defended the UWF tag titles against the Midnight Express. And so they were definitely a good tag team in that little span of time that they were together in 1987. And the thing is, talented Brad Armstrong was one of the most underrated wrestlers ever, and Tim Warner is too. And Brad Armstrong, single championships all over the place. Tim Horner the same, but as a tag team, they were good. They lost the tag titles to the Sheep Herders, but did have them through the summer of '87. The win of the UWF Tag Team Championships ended up putting Sting out of the first family and eventually putting Sting into a big role as a face. And you know how that happened for him. But the Lightning Express is a tag team most people don't think about anymore. And their accomplishment as UWF Tag Team Champions and as single competitors, really, really good. I'm not going to say it's Hall of Fame worthy, but they did have pretty good success. Okay, guys, so I hope you're really enjoying these videos I'm doing here with these forgotten tag teams. So the qualifications that I'm kind of looking at is, they've been champions or a tag team for quite some time, but it's just tag teams that people don't really think about anymore. There's so many of them out there. I've got a big list of them over here, and I'm still adding to it. And it's just tag teams that people don't really think about anymore. And they were really good. There will be occasions you might hear a tag team and say, "Oh yeah, I never forgot them." But there's going to be some you may say, "Oh, I've never even knew they were a tag team." So hopefully, I can kind of bring some awareness to this, and occasionally, maybe we can kind of look at seeing, who's Hall of Fame worthy and who's not. I'd say Strike Force, yeah, but the other two tag teams we talked about tonight, not really. The Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant is in the Hall of Fame. Hector Guerrero by himself, definitely a Hall of Fame worthy person. Same for Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner. I mean, you could kind of make the case for them being in the Hall of Fame. Um, especially I was a big fan of Brad Armstrong anyway. I thought he had, good moves and could really get around the ring and did really good as a single competitor. And unfortunately, he was thrown into some bad situations when it came to gimmicks. I think it was a Candyman at one time, and he was Bad Street with a mask on, and then he was like Spider Man. I can't remember the name of that character, but he was kind of thrown into some crazy roles. But honestly, Brad Armstrong is very underrated, and a lot of people don't think about him sometimes. And like I say, was a big fan of him. And again, a big fan of Lasertron. I like Jimmy Bag. I thought they were funny as a tag team. But out of all of them, yes, Strike Force is the most successful and probably most remembered tag team out of the three that I've talked about tonight. And that's not taking away anything from the Lightning Express as being UWF tag team champions, but it was kind of such a short run. And it was, UWF at that time was already bought out by Jim Crockett. So it was, the UWF by, let's say, December of '87 was pretty much all forgotten. I mean, Dr. Dusty Williams, the UWF champion, and then around January or so, February, they quit even mentioning the UWF and don't even talk about him being the champion anymore. So, uh, if the Lightning Express had the opportunity to had a longer title run, it probably been good. They did. There is a match here you can find on YouTube with the Midnight Express and the Lightning Express. It's a real good match, and you ought to go check that out. And if you've never seen Lasertron and Boogie Woogie Man or Strike Force, go check them out too. And I hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to do more of these. Hope you enjoyed those as I come along with more. Until next time, God bless. See you soon.